Hey everybody, this is Matt Vashlishan from Sax Gadgets. I did a post on my Instagram page the other day, and I asked what heel shape for reeds people prefer. And judging by the comments, I realized that a lot of people didn't know what I was talking about. So I'm thinking maybe I don't do something normal, but it's something that I found out about that I wanted to discuss with you. So I have here a box of Hemke reeds. That's what I use. I'm a Diodario artist. And when I open a new box of reeds, I look at the shape of them to determine some of their playing characteristics. Okay, so what I have here is a brand new box of reeds. It's out of the plastic. But when I open them, now you could open the bottom, I guess, but there's something different about the bottom. I don't know, you'll rip it and destroy the box. But so just open it regular, okay, and you'll see that all the tips of the reeds are staring at you, okay, and those are essentially useless for what we're going to do. So what I do is I just dump them out, flip them around, and there we have the heel shape, okay, and we can see each one of these heels, they look kind of similar, but are different. Okay, we have this first one here, which has a very pronounced hump. You'll see on the top, like it curves more so than the second one, and the sides are a bit shorter. So the reed is thinner, but the hump is more pronounced. On the second one, the hump is less pronounced, and the sides are thicker. On the third one, the sides are probably the thickest so far, and the hump is relatively shallow. The fourth one, kind of in the middle somewhere, and the hump is a little more pronounced. And then the last one is very similar to the first one. Okay, so what that tells me is the first one and the fifth one will play relatively similar. And then looking at it, the second and fourth might play a little similar, and then the one in the middle there is kind of, a combination of all of them. The first thing I look for is the hump, because that means that the heart is usually a bit higher running down the reed, and the bark, I have found, will generally go a little higher up the sides. Okay, if we take one of these very shallow reeds, you can see there the bark goes up maybe right about here on this one, and kind of the same on the other side, but here it's much more shallow. It doesn't go up nearly as far. So to me, this reed is going to play softer, or freer, I guess, freer than this one. Because the further the bark goes up, I find it's just harder to get the reed vibrating. I have to do a bit more work on those reeds to correct that. Okay, and once again, that's defined by me looking at, if you can see it there, the hump right in the middle, shallow, freer, more pronounced. It just has a little different character to it. The second thing I look for is the thickness overall of the reeds, and that's defined by this side right here. So you can see this one has shorter sides and this one has thicker sides. That also means that the thicker reed will play softer to me. I know that's counterintuitive. You'd think the thinner one would, but it's just the way it is. The thinner reeds will play harder, and the thicker reeds will play softer. Okay, so in a nutshell, that is one of the first things I look for. I have two more reeds over here that I found just for showing you. You can see here, let me see, make sure I get that. The left side, that hump is very, very pronounced. And this one, it's very, very shallow. Okay. If we take them out, you'll see that the shallow reed, the bark doesn't go up very far at all, and I love to see that. Whereas on the very pronounced heel, this bark will go all the way up almost to here, and I essentially would just throw this reed away. There's no point in even dealing with that. I won't even try. So I will just go to these types of reeds, and they just give me better results. And I can tell that just by looking at the heel. So once again, I mean, if you feel that the thicker reeds generally play harder for you, that's fine. I mean, everybody's different. But I do find that the shapes are consistent in whatever you find. So if you experiment with it and you figure out what works for you, it will generally be the same across the board. So it'll help you out. I mean, I try to play every read out of a box anyway, but it just makes life a little bit more enjoyable when I can kind of expect what I'm getting into, so to speak. If I don't really feel like doing a ton of work, I might just pick a read like this. And if I'm ready to deal with it, I'll go for these. So, all right, so that was it. Comment if you want, like and subscribe. I will try to post more informative videos like this in the future. So come back and check it out often. Thanks.